All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope, full moon horoscope for Sunday the 22nd of August 2021. Got a full moon in Aquarius happening at 29 degrees. The moon will be at 29 degrees, 36 space minutes, 37 space minutes. The sun will be at 29 degrees, 36, 37 space minutes in the sign of Leo. Now, the sun is home in the sign of Leo, and the moon is home in Cancer, so this is far away from where the moon feels home and safe and comfortable and able to vulnerably open up and express. This is an interesting thing going on that we've had the past couple of days leading up into this full moon here. This is our 29 degrees, 36. This goes from 36 to 37 space minutes between 8:01 a.m. and 8:04 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, the sun is about humanitarian. This is about you being you, understanding that you are a special, unique individual. And you certainly are. You have your own set of fingerprints. You have your own voice. You have your own thoughts. You have your own, this is you. This is you being the beautiful, amazing human being, independent, free-thinking, beautiful person that you are. Here in Aquarius, this is about the group. This is about technology. We have limitations here as a human being. This is something we talked about the past couple of days. The sign of Aquarius deals with technology. And the human ears, we can hear between 20 hertz or 20 kilohertz and 20 hertz, the low to the high, 20 hertz low. It was like crazy low, deep bass. 20 kilohertz is really, really high. Beep. Really high. We see between red and violet, but yet with the use of technology, our microphones can pick up ELFs, extremely low frequencies that we're unable to hear, subtle sounds that we're not able to hear with our human ears. We're able to see beyond what human sight is able to with the use of ultraviolet or infrared technology. We can use technology to better our space here on this planet, but we don't want to lose sight of being human. Now, that's an important thing. Now, we can look at how much technology has helped us, and we can look at how much technology has inevitably hurt us in certain ways. What was it? I think I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I've been recently looking up, when was the telegraph or telegram invented? When was the radio invented? Speakers. All of these devices, televisions, the ways that we communicate with the world are about 150 to less than 200 years old. Okay, we had no idea what was happening on the other side of the country. Now it's easy. I can get on a plane and be in Australia in 24 hours. I can be in another country within a matter of time. It's very simple at this point in our day and age to know what is happening on the other side of the planet, or to know what is happening, outside of our neighborhood, which is extremely important. Is Sun Leo, we have a fearlessness to be ourselves, a fearlessness to be independent. I think that's the big thing here, is being independent. Now, the group sign Aquarius, again dealing with technology, we can see how certain things, we have to obey the robots of the road, these lights, the light system. And it's like I'm driving home from work last night at 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning maybe. And it's like there's nobody on the road, and there's this stoplight in front of me, and I just have to sit there and wait for the robot to change green so that the capable and able human being that can freely think for itself can clearly make a decision and say, no, there's no cars on this road. I'm completely safe to make this turn to get myself home and go to bed. But just in case there's a cop around with his lights off that's just waiting for me, I'm going to obey the robot who can't think, who can't see, who knows nothing. We have automated soap dispensers, we have automated sinks, we have automated toilets, we have automated hand dryers, we have automated towel dispensers. Why? Because we can't be trusted with our independence. We leave the water running. We pull all the, all the hand towels out of the thing and let them dangle on the floor, or we just over abuse the soap. Aldi's has to bribe us with paying a quarter and getting our quarter back for us to be a decent human being to return the shopping cart. You know, it's like where have we lost our responsibility and our independence for being a human being, that we've acted so irresponsibly that we have to, at this point, feel the comfort of technology because we don't know how to manage without it. Again, there's two sides to every coin here. You know, on one hand, again, I can get across the country. I can FaceTime with my friends in Australia or Hawaii. Hi, how are you? Wherever in the world, we can sit here and talk with each other. We can do an astrology reading. We can talk about the planets. That is amazing. You know, but then when we're being stripped away of privileges, my will, okay, that's what Leo is about. My will, I will. I know is what Aquarius is about. I know this is about thoughts. This is about connection. This is community. This is collective knowledge. And over here on the sign of where the sun is, the full point of illumination at 29 degrees, the anerotic degrees are always the most important. It's just like we need to remember this. We need to remember that we are free-thinking individuals. We need to remember that we have free will. We need to remember that we don't have to just obey whatever the society concern is at the moment. And we have this terrible split between, you know, the vaccination or non-vaccination and how you should view that. And it's like it's none of anybody else's concern. It's not. It's just not. And now we've made it so. And now we have, you know, the moon connecting with Jupiter, which is more. So it's like there's more emotional vulnerability going on within the community that we have to open up and giving ourselves a little bit more away and a little bit more away. And this is like the point of illumination here is I am, I will. Me, free thinking, free independent individual here in the sign of Leo. You know, the other thing that we've been talking about the past couple of days has been this grand air trine kite. And part of this that we've been talking about the past couple of days is about seeking knowledge, seeking truth, valuing the individuals in your life, understanding that you are a person of authority in your life, understanding that you must be willing to seek out the new knowledge and the new information. Okay, this is the basis of this trine. The point of this kite is the south node about releasing and letting go. When we see a grand air trine, when we see a trine of any kind, this is the strongest structure in nature. This, you know, isosceles triangle, equal parts. It's hard to fold in on itself. So we can see things that are closed off. What that means is we're talking about air signs is mentally. Mentally, I can be closed off to seeking your perspective. You know, it's like if I'm you know, it doesn't matter, you know, a vaccinator versus an anti-vaxxer. You know, it could be like, no, my opinion matters more than your opinion matters. It's because we have this grand trine. It's like my concept of thinking is superior than your concept of thinking. And it's like, that's not the truth. That your concept of thinking is beautiful for you and it helps you because you're you, but that person's concept of thinking is theirs. And we can collectively get together and communicate. We can communicate factually. We can communicate, you know, Mercury here, home in Virgo. This is like, okay, be very precise about what we're communicating. Mars taking very proper steps here, moving forward in whatever we're doing. You know, so this is precise communication. And it's like collectively we can figure it out together. We don't have to, you know, here's another thing with the conditional or unconditionalness, the axis. And we have Mercury just starting to oppose, I'll come back here for a second. Mercury at 18, 19 degrees, just starting to oppose Neptune here. All right. Because Mercury this is exact, precise information. This could be anything. This is our left brain analytical mind. This is our right brain, our creative mind, you know. And we have Mercury here just starting to oppose Neptune. We have, very sorry, my phone for no reason just started talking to me. I'm so sorry. We're going for it. Precise communication, that we can communicate with other people. We have the ability to open up. We're starting to get this trine here to Pluto, transformation. Like, it doesn't have to be taboo. We can, I think the point of this is that when we're talking about unconditional versus conditional here, is just because someone has a difference of opinion politically, health, how they want to, the music they listen to, their whatever, it doesn't mean that we can't find common ground. It doesn't mean because you feel this way and I feel this way that we're on opposite sides of the pole and that there's nothing. It's like we're human beings. I don't care what your political belief is. I don't care what your stance on vax or anti-vax is. If I see you and we wave, I'm probably going to walk up and just give you a big old hug, And that's how the humanitarian aspect should be. But it's when we separate ourselves in this Aquarian thing where we pull back when we're further away from emotions, and we pull back and we set ourselves in these little groups and say, well, this group and this group, and forget those people and screw those people, and well, they think like this, and I don't think like them, so we have nothing in common. So there's no love, there's no compassion, there's no empathy, and that's what the moon is: compassion and empathy. And Jupiter's saying more. Moon conjunct Jupiter in this space, Jupiter retrograde. So it's like there's this interesting parallel or paradox, if you will, with this full moon. It's not more, we can't, more technology also means we lose more privileges in certain ways. We lose more independence in certain ways. With more of these groups, we lose the bigger picture. We lose the bigger family around the fire. And we're all separated and segregated. And the community works by being the community. Again, Aquarius is the water in the air that allows electricity to flow. So all those little pieces, it's like a light bright, all these little pieces. Did I just date myself? Anything has been around since the 1980s. All those little pieces are necessary to make the connection. Or the mousetrap game, it's like this, every little piece is necessary. So we are necessary individuals. Then, at the same time, like just after this happens, we have the big shift. So as well, the 29th degree of Leo is about saying all messages, all information should be shared. It shouldn't be kept close to the chest. If you have this great idea, and sometimes this is a difficult thing in our modern world where we have these copyrights and these patents and these things, and it's like, well, this is my idea, my concept, and I want my concept. And it's like, if I have a specific concept of astrology that makes sense to me, that I share in my teachings, well, that becomes knowledge for everybody. I can't patent that and say, well, this was given to me by source energy. This insight was given to me, and I'm copywriting that. It's like Costa Rica, you can't own water. You can own property, but you can't own the water. This is the same kind of concept. This is like, just because, this came through your vessel, your channel, your speaker wire, and amplifies through the speakers, doesn't mean we get to hold on to it and harness it just for ourselves to be used. It's like, this knowledge comes through, we must share it with everybody else. And then the 29th degree of Aquarius is similarly so. It's like, once the knowledge comes in and comes in and comes in, and we keep doing the due diligence, we keep doing the work to make the connections on a path of knowing. I think that's one of the biggest things, and especially with this grand kite trine that's happening, is Saturn here is solidifying things, Jupiter here as well as expansion. Our moon is an emotional place where I feel safe and vulnerable. All of these in the place of Aquarius, understanding the power of our individuality within the group and our consistency at staying committed. That's something Saturn is all about, staying committed. And when we're staying committed here to our path, when we're staying committed to understanding our nature and connecting with others and learning knowledge, high knowledge, breakthrough, radical knowledge perhaps, that might be challenging to traditional knowledge, Uranus, we get great insight. We are able to speak. They say that we were used to be able to speak with plants. Some people still do. Some people say they're psychic or clairvoyant and they can hear or see things. They see colors or hear colors and see sounds. I don't know. So it's like, when we stay practicing with our human nature, we develop this great ability. I'm a firm believer that through the use of technology, these lights, we've lost aspects of being human. Aside from that, I want to share, like, recently I've met individuals, a group of individuals that started, and a lot of people are talking about this now, like creating a little commune, and I got to check out their commune. And they have, you know, some acreage, a lot of acreage in pond and all this. And they have these pole bar. They have a house, and all these people stay at the house, and all these rooms, and these pole barns, and all this stuff. And I checked it out, and in the pole barns, there's like arcades and ice cream galore. And then another pole barn is just full of freezers of frozen food, and another pole barn is full of like just a big screen TV and giant couches and comfy things. There's all these like leisures and pleasures, you know, earthly delights, if you will. And I was shocked that these individuals who are like, you know, the end is near, we're preparing for, you know, this, and we're being a self-sustainable little thing. They don't own a chicken. They don't own a duck. They don't own a single farm animal. They have no farm on their farm. There's no, I'm not trying to make fun, but there's literally, there's no garden. So they have these earthly delights. They're using technology and TV and video games and all of these things as their safe haven. What there's not there is the necessary elements of human nature. Maybe some animals, some food, some veggies, things like that. So it's like part of this is coming back to that human aspect of self, being independent and not being so reliant on a bigger system. A system out there that wants to strip us of our independence. And it's not, you know, it might not even be a malicious thing. It's not like, you know, there's like Big Brother standing here like, oh, we're just going to keep taking away little by little by little by little. Maybe there is some sort of like, you know, this is going to help people. Maybe that's in their brain. That's how this works. But we have to ultimately look at the bigger picture here. And that's what Aquarius energy is all about, is kind of like looking at the bigger picture. And we have the ability to look at the bigger picture now. We have the ability to communicate from state to state, from country to country, worldwide. We connect. We're in the place of knowing. We're not in the place of belief. This is where we've been for 2,000 years, in the place of belief. We're in the age of Aquarius. This is all about knowing. This particular full moon, this particular grand kite, this grand trine kite is extremely important, because we have to be willing to let go of these old beliefs to embrace the new ones. Happy full moon, my friends. And then we've got the moon moving into Pisces and the sun moving into Virgo. You know, this is where we've been for the past 2,000 years, the Pisces, you know, age of Pisces. So we're moving into this, like, okay, we're moving out of humanitarian and willful and knowing. We're moving into focused energy here. The sun's like, I'm ready to get to work. I've fired myself up. I've got all this playful energy. Now it's time to get to work. Moon moving over to the sign of Pisces and saying, where do we go? Where do we put our energy? We've just completed this big journey. We've just learned a lot of new stuff. Let's take the time. Let's take a couple of days here this weekend to figure out what our next step is, so we can execute it with focus and precision. My friends, have a happy full moon, and I will see you tomorrow.